Hello, this is the Sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker, and today is Friday, January 5th, 2024. Today, the temperature will go up around 44 degrees. Right now, a little bit before the sun comes up, it's 24 degrees and feels like 18. Today, in this area of Kentucky, Lexington, considerable cloudiness, highs in the mid 40s and lows in the mid 30s. Rain expected Friday overnight. Snow, ice, rain, and wind all ahead. Today's sunrise will be around 7:54 a.m., sunset around 5:31 p.m., wind around 5 miles per hour. Air quality index good at 26. Here's another feature I figured I'd add today. Up until now, conditions for running have been good, but today, conditions for running is poor. So, if you're watching the Sideshow on Facebook and Instagram, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Talk about it on WhatsApp. If you're watching the Sideshow on YouTube, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And of course, the Sideshow coffee cup, black 11-ounce ceramic with the Sideshow logo on it in white letters. Dishwasher safe, good for all beverages, hot and cold. Buy from me for $17 plus shipping and handling. Pay me through Cash App, $TR Parker 1. What I was thinking about talking about today is just my being curious. I know how that sounds and so forth and so on, but I have a lot of curiosity, and it dips into other areas, or a lot of different areas. No rhyme or reason, just questions just pop into my head, and I may take time to seek an answer. So I thought I would share some of these ideas with you today. One of the ideas that kind of popped into my head: can a person stand on an egg without breaking it? And by way of explanation, when I first started my journey in the martial arts, and I was living in D.C., or that's where near where I settled down after I got out of the military. There was a Chinese movie theater in La Enfant Plaza in D.C., and every weekend they had Chinese movies, mostly the old style ones, and you would see people leaping all high or leaping on buildings and doing various things that just seemed impossible at the time. Excuse me. Well, since then, I've learned, about stunts and movies and action films and things of this nature, and how human dynamics translates to what you see on the screen. And so I know there's wires and things like that attached, but it does have some basis in actual ability of a person to perform things that usually are not commonplace. So my question, can a person stand on an egg? One of the exercises for balance and things of this nature is taking a small surface and maintaining. You see it in movies from time to time. So anyway, but it's also the other end of say like Cat Williams' joke. He said he's there with his friends and they're smoking, and it's like so smart is stupid. The person's puffing on the joint, and they say, "That's a couch, right?" Puff a few more times, and I can sit on that. Puff a few more times, and that's a love seat. Puff a few more times. So I got to be in love to sit on that, right? So smart is stupid, as Cat Williams says. But anyway, can a person stand on an egg? Yes, a person can stand on an egg without cracking it. Distribute your weight. When you stand on an egg, your weight is spread out over the egg instead of being concentrated on one point. This keeps the egg from cracking under the pressure. Use the egg carton. The design of the egg carton also helps to keep the eggs from cracking. Use the arched shape. The arched shape of the egg also helps keep it from breaking. In perfect conditions, a hen's egg can bear a 130-pound weight without breaking. However, testing by the Society of Physics students found a wide range of maximum loads for standard large eggs, from around 100 pounds to over 300 pounds. And there is a video. Just goes to show you. I'm also, a person who watches movies, and that's not supposed to be taken out of context. I mean, everything is advertised. You just pick and choose. You know what I mean? One of the things that kind of piques my curiosity is whenever you see a lot of money being transferred, this is $2 million, and, they got it in like 4 backpacks or 2 duffel bags. That always fascinated me because when you see that kind of money in a bank vault, it takes up a lot of space. So I got curious, and especially with Denzel's picture Equalizer 3 out, and one of the lines in the picture, he says $366,400 US, and he has it in a backpack. And I'm like, that's over $250,000, and you got it in a backpack. So anyway, excuse me. It goes back to what the US dollar weighs individually. A gram. $1 weighs 1 gram. And that holds true regardless of the denomination. Like $50 is still the same weight. $100 is still the same weight. It's also a means of checking for counterfeit money. A certain amount weighs a certain amount based on each bill being a gram. So I was like, well, how much does, I think, like $1 million weigh, or $250,000 weigh, or whatever the question was, I think. And it was like 22 pounds, but it's like they give you the answer in a metric system, So 22 pounds, yeah, you can put that on a backpack, because some backpacks are designed to hold 30 pounds, by the time you put everything in it that you want to carry, So it's not as far-fetched as it sounds, And then speaking about Equalizer 3, that was advertised as Dakota getting back with Denzel and so forth and so on like that. That dates back to one of Denzel's earlier pictures, Man on Fire. And the basic outline was that Denzel was bodyguard for a family in Mexico. Mark Anthony was the husband, wife, and Dakota was the child. And she had a little nickname for Denzel at the time. And she got kidnapped. And so Denzel went after her. What happened was, by him taking her to her music lesson for 1 hour, and the way it was, where she was at, it was like park-like areas, so he could sit at the benches and walk the dog and keep the entrance, and still keep the entrance in line of sight. So when she was coming out, a group of men grabbed her. Shots were fired. Denzel got shot several times. He shot a couple other people. But in the process of all this happening, Denzel notices that there are police officers there, and they did not get out to help. So as he's recovering in the hospital, he starts going over this mentally and so forth and so on. And they still have, Dakota kidnapped because the father had borrowed some money and didn't pay it back at their interest rates. And so the story takes off. Not to spoil it for you. So that's kind of like how that connected, Another one, movies as well. Mission Impossible. Save the world. And I do have a point to all of this. And as you follow the breadcrumbs, the yellow brick road, and all the rest of that, we will get to it. Okay? Mission Impossible. Save the world. A famous line in Ethan Hunt's movies. And if you choose to accept, you get captured, the secretary will disavow all knowledge of you and your team. I mean, that's an amazing job offer, to say the least. And it's usually some kind of biohazard or something of this nature that they have to find, secure, and all this other kind of stuff that goes with it. But, curiosity hit me one time, and I was like, well, what kind of job is that? Well, it comes under the State Department, here in the U.S. And the last time I checked, several years back, that job paid, $40,000 a year. Go save the world for $40,000 a year, which belies the impression of, fancy hotels and fine wine, But that was it, 40,000. So here lately, with this new round of movies that's come out, Netflix, Prime Video, etc., even YouTube for that matter. Some of them have been dealing with sex trafficking. And I think one of the ones that's currently advertised is Sound of Freedom, and that's on Prime. And another one that's out right now called Traffic, Ashley Judd. And that kind of surprised me because I don't usually see Ashley Judd in a villain character, It's a tribute that an actor can play various roles and various characters, but I don't see Ashley Judd playing a villain, and in this one she was. Some of the earlier ones, dealing with traffic, I think the first one, if my memory serves me correctly, Michael Douglas was in. And then some time passed, because it's not like they are out all the time. Another one, trafficking, Paula Patton was in. And then one that's still up on Netflix, I Am All Girls. was another one. But this latest one, Sound of Freedom, has kind of been advertised. And I admit, on a personal level, I'm not really eager to press play. I know I shouldn't be laughing, but I just have to prepare myself for it because I don't know what I might be looking at. So anyway, in this one, not to spoil it, it is based on a true story talking about Sound of Freedom. And to kind of set it up, it's two men working for the Department of Immigration, and they're chasing down pedophiles. And then one of them mentions, well, what about the children? And I think the one that would be considered in charge says, well, we're trying to get the pedophiles right now, you know. But it does open up a new train of thought, because part of what they have to do, for whatever reason, pedophiles seem to like making videos of what they're doing. So his job was to look at the videos. And I can imagine, you know, how your emotions would run, you know, shock, disgust. Then you might start getting a little fire in your belly that says, I'm going to get this so-and-so. And that's where the picture kind of takes off. So in his regular job position, he wouldn't be able to do that, look for the children. But he takes time off from work, and it just so happens that his supervisor, or a person in chain of command, allots him $10,000 in a certain amount of time to go find these two children that are missing, a boy and a girl. Now, you can go watch the picture. So with this fire in his belly, he goes and looks and looks and looks, and that's how the picture develops. So you get all these things going on about sex trafficking, and you know, there's usually several components that are consistent across the board. You know, the girl is kidnapped. The average age is 14. Kept on drugs. And along with that, in order to keep them submissive, not only are the drugs used, but also threat of harm to their family. Threats of harm to their family. If you leave, we'll, you know, hurt your family or kill your family or whatever else it might be. And then after so much time, I guess there's an offer made, well, you know, you owe me such and such, and if you work it off, then you can go, which is supposed to offer that little ray of hope and incentive that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So those things kind of go up with that. And as you look at the world map, unfortunately, girls are being snatched from every country in the world. A while back, there was attention being drawn to how many Native American girls were turning up missing. A preponderance of it in Mexico and South America. But when you follow the money, and this was revealed in the same movie, Sound of Freedom, as they rolled the credits, that all of these girls from all of these places end up right here in the United States. Food for thought. Switching topics, I was impressed when I saw that Travis Kelce has spent over $6,000 a night for tailors to stay at several hotels that are extremely expensive. I think it was $6,300 a night at some of these hotels. But I'm like, you know, it's your money, you earned it, spend it like you want. I'm impressed. Then right behind that, I see another article that says that Magic Johnson spent $1.5 million per week for 6 weeks on a yacht, enjoying himself. $1.5 million per week for 6 weeks on a yacht. I guess you could say that's enjoying the fruits of your labor. Okay. One other thing before I close, we are all people, we're all human, and we have these little throwaway phrases that we use from time to time. And one of them is, you don't have to rape nobody. Find you a prostitute. That's it. Hashtag.